Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Looking Upon the Heart. Pete Carlson here. Hope you're having a good day, staying safe, and being, well, in a good disposition. Today, we're going to be continuing to talk about the hard heart disposition. Today, we're talking about manipulative Manny and manipulative Maddie. This personality style and character state is a scheming and a scamming. Proverbs 55:21 says, "The words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords." Wow. It's about buttering people up for manipulative Manny. He obviously is trying to sell you something that maybe not all it's cracked up to be. He may be considered a control freak. By some, he may be considered a manipulator. The primary mode of operation is to plan out schemes or to spontaneously take advantage of people and opportunities. By using his words and actions, he cleverly tries and persuades others to go along with him or his personal purposes and gain that he might have. He craftily controls how and what he says and does to produce emotions in others, which compel them to comply with his wishes. So Manny and Maddie, they play games. They play people. Plays people in the sense of they may feel sympathy, they may feel obligated, they feel guilty, they feel awkward or ashamed if they don't comply, if they don't help him. People may feel intimidated also and anxious and scared if they don't keep him happy. Or he may use temptation to seduce them, make them feel they are missing out on something good if they don't oblige him. So he uses words to implement clever tactics meant to influence people the way he wants with sweet talk. Typically, he basically is acting nice and innocent, but actually lying by flattering, saying one complimentary thing, but meaning to accomplish an ulterior motive and gets what he wants. When you have these ulterior motives, that's what game playing is. On the surface, you say something on a social level, but on a psychological level, there's a manipulation, either filled with fear or guilt or seduction. He may secretly be feeling one way, like negativity about the person or thing, but shows another display of feelings which give another false impression of positivity. This fools people and makes them a victim of deceit. And when we talk about the sweetheart disposition, we'll recognize that sometimes a sweetheart is not sincere. It's just a mask for this hard-hearted disposition of manipulative Manny. So there's trickery and a misleading. He uses the old bait and switch method of trickery. Puts something out there, then switches it on you, luring others in by giving them a certain impression, such as being interested in being friends, but actually only finding a way to cause the person to give in or cooperate about something. Then the tables are turned. There's an intention to trick and swindle things like money, sex, work out of the other person, or confidence from the person. And even faith in Jesus swindled away from the person. In the Garden of Eden, the serpent was the original manipulative Manny, and leading people away from God and Jesus Christ. From that time, when the original sin entered the world, Satan has never stopped trying to manipulate and lead people astray, and using human beings like Manny to do the dirty work for him. There's deceptiveness and being two-faced. 2 Corinthians 11:13 says, "For such are false prophets, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ." And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. So there's spiritual warfare going on beneath all this. And we'll talk about that more later when we get into the Braveheart disposition, how we're going to deal with these forces. He puts people in a no-win situation, damned if they do, damned if they don't, or between a rock and a hard place. Note that Manny criticizes his partner that he doesn't get enough love, affection, attention, or romance, but then when she gives it to him, he sabotages, ignores, or rejects it, turns the tables. Playing head games when he communicates on two different levels at the same time. The strategy of manipulative Manny is to say something innocuous, which is harmless or neutral on the surface, on the social level, which gives certain information or asks certain questions. Meanwhile, at the same time, he is communicating something which is manipulative on a deeper psychological level. The ulterior motive of this head game is for some odd reason wanting to make the other person feel bad, guilty, frustrated, confused, punished, etc., and powerless. In this sneaky kind of way, he indirectly is controlling, subtly demanding, quietly insisting, gently pushing, predatorily seducing, or secretly slandering. Also, he may manipulate directly as well by just being aggressive, arguing his position, underhandedly blackmailing, threatening, or giving ultimatum. Do this or else feel terrible and or suffer negative consequences is the secret message. In Luke 10:3 it says, "Go your way, behold, I send you out as lambs among wolves." And, he becomes fake, a wolf in sheep's clothing, pretending to be sweet and nice. He's being pretentious and with an outward appearance that is very different from how he really is, disguised and masked in this manipulative personality style. He may consider it okay, for example, to tell white lies in order to accomplish what he wants, or flat out evil lies. In Exodus 20:16 it says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." Basically, he is a liar. Well, some diagnostic impressions of a manipulative character is when we diagnose, in my field, narcissistic personality disorder. This is where there's a lack of empathy for other people's feelings and needs. He's interested only in his personal gain and manipulating in order to get what he wants. There's the antisocial personality disorder, which used to be called psychopathic or sociopathic. This is where the laws of society do not belong to him. They don't apply. Manny has a grandiose type of bipolar, perhaps. Another diagnostic impression of this character is an intermittent explosive disorder, where there's temper is aggressive once in a while. There's the oppositional defiant disorder, where one says and thinks and does the opposite of instructed to do. And as a child also, there's the conduct disorder. The basic manipulations are guilt and fear. Manny is addicted to controlling, so he will guilt us, scare us, or seduce us into doing what he wants us to do in three basic ways. The guilt trip tells us what we had better cancel our plans, or we'll be treating him horribly. Well, threats to scare us in order to get us to do what he wants. The basic modus operandi of the perpetrator of domestic violence is basically where you're trying to control another member of the family, threatening to do harm. Physical abuse, physical manipulation. Sexual abuse is forceful. Emotional abuse is manipulation with these fears and threats. Verbal abuse is using words intended to hurt. Financial abuse is withholding money. Neglect is depriving of what other person truly needs. It's passive aggressiveness, withholding love, spousal, withholding of sex, withholding help, withholding information, all manipulative. And then there's the manipulation of seduction, where he preys upon the needy. He uses lies, temptation, his forked tongue, and double heart to deceive unsuspecting people, to trick us into his coveting or lustful web. Diabolical plans to pull the wool over our eyes, and ulterior selfish sexual motives. Psalms 12:1-2 says, "Help, Lord, for the godly are no more. Everyone lies to his neighbor, his flattering lips and a double heart," which is deception, "they speak." Ecclesiastes 8:11 says, "The heart of the sons of men is fully set in them with schemes to do wrong, to do evil." Well, there's also all kinds of false prophets of manipulation, speaking perverse things to draw away the disciples after themselves. And as a crafty harlot or adulteress operates on a vulnerable person. Proverbs 7 says, "My son, keep my words, write them on the tablet of your heart, that they may keep you from immoral women, from the seductress who flatters with her words. I perceive among you youths a young man devoid of understanding, and there a woman met him with the attire of a harlot and a crafty heart. She was loud and rebellious, lurking at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him. With an impudent face, she said to him, 'I have a peace offering with me. Today I have paid my vows. So I come to meet you, diligently to meet you, diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. I have spread my bed with tapestry, colored coverings of Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love, for my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him and will come home on the appointed day.' With her enticing speech, she causes him to yield with her flattering lips. She seduces him. Immediately, he went after her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. He did not know it would cost his life. Do not stray into her path, for she has cast down many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. Her home is the way to hell, descending to the chamber of death." And think we can get away with this stuff. Matthew 15 says, "Hypocrites, these people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." So people may, in this character state, even try to manipulate God, try to act like a Christian, but actually in our heart we're untrue. Our heart is not with God, at least at that moment. Adam and Eve tried to hide in the Garden of Eden. Jacob fooled his father to get his birthright instead of his brother. Remember, there's nothing hidden from God's eyes. Well, that's it for now. Straight talk and speak forwardly is the way to go, not manipulative indirectly, and make sure that your heart is right with God. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.